Good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to take a moment to share this video with my friends and family with regards to, or in light of some of the recent events that have been happening in the United States. I felt a need to share it because I was seeing particular things that I wanted to engage and to talk about. In about a few years prior, I did some of my own research for schooling and so on, and one of the videos that I came across spoke specifically around mass shootings, and some of the concepts that he had shared kind of came back to light as I was reflecting on what was happening in the States. And I must say that I'm no expert, I'm not pretending to be an expert, but I do want to share this video with friends and family, and I ask that you do not reshare, I ask that you do not like, I ask that you try to engage with these concepts, engage with what's happening critically, having conversations not only with yourself, but having conversations with your loved ones, with your friends, is the most important element that I would like for you to have and to speak about with regards to some of the concepts that I'm going to share with you. This was a article that was shared by, I believe it was Times. I'm going to post a link to the article below. And my hope is that, as I speak to some of this, we might continue to think about what are some of the things that we're doing it to implicit or to counter to what some of these suggestions are. Now, these suggestions were given to journalists and police, and as I read them, you can kind of listen into what are some of the mistakes that they're making right now with regards to how they're journalistically revealing some of the information around what is happening in the States. One of the things that they talk about is to deprive the killer of an audience. So when you look at Twitter and see that the shooting is the most trending thing right now, what that's sending in terms of messages not only to that particular individual but others, that this is something that they can gain notoriety from. It talked about never publishing propaganda, so it talked about also other shooters, looking at other shooters for inspiration. And if we continue to perpetuate and continue to push these things, what will ultimately happen is that there's going to be inspiration for future things like this to occur. The article speaks about hiding the faces and names of these individuals, and the exception of when they're still at large. Concealing the identities will help to remove this motivation of infamy. Do not report on biography or speculate on motive, because when you report on biography and speculate on motive, what you do essentially is sometimes give reason to or justification for the actions, as the article continues to say. To even talking about motive may encourage the perception that these acts can be justified. Police and the media can also contain the contagion of mass shootings by withholding details. Minimizing the specifics and gory details is another way. Some may argue, if you look at stories like Emmett Till, that help to further drive people to action. In the cases of some of these in the cases of what's happening, and what I believe the story is trying to say is that this may entice others whom have similar interests to pursue it for the notoriety purposes of it. Shooters are motivated by infamy and their actions as much as infamy for themselves. Details of the event also help other troubled minds turn abstract frustrations into concrete fantasies. There should be no play-by-play or no description of the shooter's clothing, weapons, or words, mannerisms, or weaponry. And I know some people might be thinking to themselves, we need to get the word out, we need to get people involved, we need to get people engaged. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. What are you getting people involved on, in, about is more important, I believe. So what are you trying to say by the videos that you're posting, the things that you're liking? How are you trying to get people engaged is as important as what's happening with regards to this particular individual. No photos, videos, or events, images like the security camera photos or armed Columbine So images like the security camera photos of armed Columbine shooters can be iconic and even go viral. We already know things are already trending, things are going viral. So what does that mean now for a broader society, for individuals who might have similar interests and want to act upon these things? And it says, journalists and public figures need to remove the mystery shrouding mass killings to create a new script for them. It ultimately says, by trying not to sensationalize these particular acts, it helps to support in others not thinking that these acts need to be done on such a broad scale. Now, I'm not saying to my friends and family to do a particular thing. What I am saying is to think critically about what it is that you're doing when you share, when you repost, when you like, what is happening with regards to this and others. My only hope, once again, is just to think critically. My only hope for this video is for individuals to continue to ask questions, not only of themselves, but of their friends and of their family, in terms of what are they doing to support not only community, not only individuals that are in need, but individuals that are doing things, individuals that are changing policy. What are you doing to engage those individuals? The conversation starts and ends a lot of times with one individual. So please continue to not only think but to act. Please continue to pray for these individuals, but also continue to march, because the two are not synonymous. We have to continue to try to see if we can bridge the gap between movement, between action, between policy, between outcomes. And my hope is that this one video might at least connect with someone out there to continue to move in a particular direction. Thank you all so much for listening. Once again, this is not about likes. Do not like this video. Do not share it. Do not repost it. Just please think critically and continue to move the conversation forward as you see fit. Okay, thank you so very much for listening.